Now, of course, we go to the strawweight division, and let's not forget what happened here. Carla Esparza absolutely dominated Yan Xiaonan, of course. Yan Xiaonan coming in with a lot of hype, a lot of stardom, obviously, I believe through the PI in Beijing or in Shanghai. Obviously Zhang Weili, the former strawweight champion, her countrywoman, of course, bringing a lot of the spotlight, but a lot of eyes to the strawweight division, and obviously there's a couple of comparisons and hopes for a super fight in Asia, in China. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that, or at least not on a pay-per-view for a title, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But Carla Esparza absolutely dominating from start to finish, took Yan down immediately and just pummeled her really with it. Strong elbows, strong grappling, kept on top of her for the whole round, dominated it from start to finish, and did the same in the second. And it was almost Valentina Shevchenko-like, if you remember the fight where it just got brutal and bloody, and then we waited until the referee to stop it. Esparza in the crucifix position, Yan not being able to move, and really that was all she wrote. You didn't need to see any more of that. And Carla Esparza's put in some fantastic performances. She has on a 5-fight win streak now, beating Verna Jandiroba, Alexa Grasso, Michelle Waters, and Marina Rodriguez, and Yan, of course. And those last two being phenomenal wins, because we see the growth and development of Marina Rodriguez and Yan, of course, as well. So she's still in there and booked her ticket rightfully as a number one contender, in my opinion. A lot of people are saying, you're looking at Zhang Weili as a rematch, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Obviously, personally, I can't see Joanna Jędrzejczyk getting that title shot right now, just because she's lost to Rose Namajunas twice. She's coming off that loss to Zhang Weili as well, so it'd be hard to see her being put in there for a title shot. And she is on the last, fight of her contract, so there might be a bit of disparity between the UFC and what Joanna wants. Joanna's come out and said she only wants a big money fight. She only wants like the Zhang Weili, Valentina Shevchenko, and Rose Namajunas. She wants those style of fights. Maybe Mackenzie Dern probably brings in a similar sort of star level, but she's not going to take with all due respect to Michelle Waterson, Claudia Gadelha, etc. She wants someone at the top of the division so she can get a belt back. And maybe the UFC don't want to pay that. We're seeing the same thing between John Jones and the UFC at the moment. Maybe there's an element of that, saying go fight Stipe, prove your worth in the heavyweight division, whereas John Jones, maybe it's him or his management or his team, etc. going, no, I want to be paid X amount. And obviously Joanna goes in there, dominates the fight, and then walks away from the UFC on the last fight of the contract. The UFC lose out big time. They lose out on finance, and of course the potential to make a title shot, and maybe then a champion if they did make that title shot and she walks away with the belt, you could say. But Carla Esparza, for me, I think this fight needs to be made with Rose Namajunas once again. They were the Ultimate finalists, of course, where Carla Esparza became the inaugural strawweight champion, and it brings this strawweight division in a full circle. At the moment, it is the only division that looks, a tad competitive, you could say. There's 3 or 4 or 5 maybe competitors: Mackenzie Dern, Rodriguez, Zhang Weili, Joanna Jędrzejczyk still up there, all gunning for Rose Namajunas. Now obviously Tatiana Suarez now move up to a flyweight, whether she has planned to move back down to strawweight and be someone who goes in between, I don't know. I think she's got to the age now, and she's a big strawweight, so flyweight's probably a home for the future now. But for Carla Esparza and Rose Namajunas, the narratives are phenomenal if you put them all together like that. The birth of this division, you could say. Carla Esparza getting the win. Obviously, if Rose Namajunas wins, she's then being every single strawweight champion, and that puts herself in the category with the Valentina Shevchenkos, the Amanda Nunes's of this world, as one of the greatest of all time. If you're beating all the champions in your division, that says something. But if Carla Esparza wins, what a story that is for her. And obviously, it was a first finish since that defeat, or since beating, should we say, Rose Namajunas, and she's just built herself a fantastic narrative. And since that loss to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, which was a pretty bad loss, it's on Joanna Jędrzejczyk's highlight reel for a reason. She's got a stacked highlight reel as it is. She then went 3-1. She would then have back-to-back losses to Claudia Gadelha, Tatiana Suarez, and then since then she's really turned it around and got on this win streak and rightfully put herself back in title contention. And she should feel hard done by, if she doesn't get a title shot next, or at least has to wait between Zhang Weili and Rose Namajunas. But I think the fact that we have got this narrative, I think we have to push it out there, push the narrative out there, to bring the strawweight division in full circle. It's a shame that we've already had the Ultimate Fighter this year, because those two as coaches would have been the cherry on the top of this. The 2 finalists in the strawweight division being coaches, fighting for the title at the end would have been phenomenal for all the gold and some of the biggest records you could say in women's MMA. But yes, let's have a quick look at the statistics. Of course, Esparza did beat Xiaonan in round 2. Referee broke it up after that. Those brutal elbows and strikes that Esparza was landed. She did land 170 of them in the 109th hole, which in 7.5 minutes work is absolutely devastating. 31 landed from Yan, 5 out of 11 significant strikes, and 27 significant from Esparza. And you can see 303 takedowns. Anytime she went in for a takedown, it was just too much for Yan to withstand. So yes, it was a very convincing win, and as we mentioned, she was rightfully the number 1 contender. But to have a quick look, of course, at the rankings, Rose Namajunas, Zhang Weili, Yan Xiaonan, CageChat, the stars of this division, obviously Esparza moved up probably to number 2 in the rankings, maybe the number 1, if they're feeling nice. The people who make the rankings, of course, when they come out on Tuesday, I believe, at least in the UK, Tuesday afternoon, evening time. Obviously, Mackenzie Dern's in there, Marina Rodriguez. Now, as I mentioned on Saturday, I'd like to see Marina versus Yan Xiaonan, CageChat. I think that fight stylistically is a beautiful fight, and I mentioned in the group chat that I'm in now, maybe we do a fight night main event in Shanghai or Beijing to promote the PI and the development of the sport. And obviously, if we go back to, I think it was 262, we had a lot of fighters from China on that card as well. And rightfully, they probably deserve some spotlight and deserve to, if it's obviously viable, if there's crowds open in China, events, etc. It would be nice to see them get a home sort of warming, I guess, and a celebration of the development of MMA over there. And Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan, albeit not for a title, make it a 5-round main event on a fight night, would be very historical and very, pivotal for the growth in MMA over there. It's just unfortunate it wouldn't be a super fight for that title. But you never know, if they build Rose Namajunas and Zhang Weili too, and Zhang Weili gets a title back, then the chips in this fight changes. But personally, for me, I'd like to see Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan, and although maybe that's a bit of the promotion, but obviously 2 losses together, puts whoever wins that back in the title picture, of course. And obviously Mackenzie Dern, is looking for a return there. It's tough to match her up. Maybe you give her to Yan Xiaonan perhaps, but after seeing what Carla Esparza done to Yan, it'd be interesting to see how Yan building a takedown defense, and Mackenzie and how she could use that aggressive nature in her grappling and her jiu-jitsu and her submissions, to get through Yan. But I think that'd be stylistically a fight I'd favour in for Mackenzie Dern after seeing what we've seen on Saturday night. Mackenzie Dern, obviously, Yan Xiaonan, CageChat is also a fantastic fight too.